Now, look, we would never want to trigger you guys. So I have to let you know that what you're going to hear could be deeply offensive, deeply shocking. You know, if you are that most precious of snowflakes, then avert your eyes now, turn off your phone, just get out of the room, get out of the house and go over to the neighbor's house. But our fearless leader is going to tell us just how bad things are here in the States.
Stand up against the poison of white supremacy, as I did my inaugural address, to single out as the most dangerous terrorist threat to our homeland is white supremacy.
Oh, the sound guy doesn't.
I'm not
like
saying this
that.
because I'm at a black HBCU. I say it wherever I go. So stand up against the...
Samantha, I'm sorry you had to see that.
I know.
It's deeply upsetting.
I appreciate the trigger warning. I'm sorry that you have to deal with my white supremacy just by being on the same screen as me. Because we know that Joe Biden is not just talking about, actual white supremacists, because that is not an issue. This is a CRT thing where he wants Black people to see all white people as white supremacists. That being said, I don't know what an inaugurated address is. I kind of missed the interpretation on that. My second question is, when he says, I'm not just saying this because I'm at a black HBCU, is there a white HBCU?
In his book, who knows? Probably. Guys, yeah. That's the president of the United States.
Right.
It's not just a problem that he's doing it, but the literal Secretary of Homeland Defense. I'm talking like Joe Biden. Maybe something's happening to the Joes of the world, but the Secretary of Homeland Security, maybe he just parrots this because like, oh man, this guy's my boss. I got to get in line. He can fire me, Trump style at the stroke of a pen. But Biden's not articulate. Biden doesn't sound very presidential or anything like that. But just for the people who will ignore it, this is being parroted at high levels of government, like what Secretary Mayorkas thinks and says and does, and the policies he implements actually matter. The literal homeland security.
The president yesterday at his commencement address for the Howard University graduates called white supremacy the major domestic terror threat in this country. Is that correct?
Now, I'm just going to pause it right here because my brother over here, literal black guy, knows that this isn't correct. You know why? Because he's not seen a KKK rally, a Klan hood. He's not seen a burning cross. He's not seen any of those things because that stuff ended a long, long time ago. Maybe when he was a baby, maybe literally before I was born. We're not talking about racism, folks. Racism exists. Racism exists everywhere. The United States is one of the least racist countries in the world. Asian countries, extremely racist. Go over to Japan. Be a Japanese American and go over to Japan. They're even racist against you because you're not Japanese enough. Same thing in China. Same thing in Vietnam, Korea. Anyway, this guy knows that Biden is full of it because if this were a terrible place for black people, you know who would know? The black people. We would know that.
Well, and I just want to say the way that he framed this question, he's saying, this is what the president of the United States said. Is this correct? But the correct question would have been, can you provide an example? You are the director of essentially security of the entire country, at least to an extent. What examples can you give us? Because of all people, you are going to know. So he should have stepped in and said, where is this happening? Provide examples, provide proof, instead of just say yes or no.
I'm so glad you said that because, guys, when you hear this line from the Christopher Wrays, from the Alejandro Mayorkases, from all of their counterparts, here and abroad, when you hear this phrase, know that it's bullcrap. Well, you know I can't comment on an ongoing investigation. That's fine, don't. But you prosecute tens of thousands of crimes, tens of thousands of criminals for hundreds of thousands of crimes, year over year over year over year. So can you tell us, in the 40,000 violent felonies that you've prosecuted, in the 10,000 conspiracy felonies that you've prosecuted, maybe in the several thousand terrorism charges, espionage, whatever, that you've already prosecuted, book closed, prosecute people in prison. Can you tell us which of those were significant white supremacist threats? The answer is no.
Right.
Absolutely not. But that would, man, you should be a real journalist. That would be a real journalist question.
I'm on it.
I gotta say, this guy's got to be a little bit more down to earth than we give him credit for, because I think he makes $270,000, and he is rocking, if you look at this wrist, he is rocking like a $12 Timex from Target. I gotta respect that a little bit. I just me. That's
keeping
all.
It real.
So anyway, here's what he had to say about the peril of Black Americans and the rise of white supremacy.
It tragically is. In the terrorism context, domestic violent extremism is our greatest threat right now. Individuals are driven to violence because of ideologies of hate, anti-government sentiments, false narratives, personal grievances, and the like. And regrettably, we have seen a rise in white supremacy.
The president...
Man, well, good news, folks. Good news. ISIS, over. Taliban, over. Al-Qaeda, all these kinds of groups, don't worry about it. We got it in the bag. Nipped it in the bud. Now we need to look out for the white supremacists.
Right. Well, and, just briefly, because I know we don't want to spend too much time on this, but back to, Biden's comments of saying, I'm not just saying this because I'm in a room full of Black people. It's like, dude, that's exactly why you're saying it, because there are so many other issues that need to be focused on. And you want to encourage these people to not focus on the issues that need to be solved, to not feel like they have any power in their own lives. And you want them to focus this energy on something that isn't existent, so that they're like these, hamsters running in a hamster wheel, fighting against something that isn't there, so that they don't put time and energy into actually leading productive lives.
Oops.
And Joe Biden saying that, being the white guy in the room saying that, is like the prime example of being a white supremacist.
Oh, I shouldn't play with the buttons here. I just blew you up for a second. Yeah,
I saw that.
He does exactly what you said. That's the same reason that he played Despacito when he was in front of a room of Hispanics, and the reason that Hillary Clinton will talk with a Southern accent when she's in Alabama, and
Hey, if you enjoyed that clip from the Joe MOBLEY Show, of which I join every Thursday evening to talk about the week's biggest headlines and the stories most likely to make your head explode, there's a few things I need you to do. First, like this video, leave your thoughts in the comments below, and share it with others. Also, be sure you are subscribed to my channel. You can click the link in the description box to catch the week's latest full episode, and tune in every Thursday evening at 7:30 p.m. Central Time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, where we stream on all major platforms on both of our accounts, including YouTube, Getter, Twitter, and Facebook. But most importantly, Rumble, because we do need to support platforms that support free speech. Also, be sure to catch my daily videos where I talk about the topics that I think matter to everyday people, especially those of us trying to raise kids in the insanity known as today's society. I do appreciate your support on my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.